In today's worksheet, we're going to be working with multiplication and division with rational numbers. In this situation, will be the fractions. So let's look at our targets. Again, can you multiply integers and fractions? And can you divide integers and fractions? And again, we're looking for the consistency, meaning just be careful. Make sure you're watching your multiplication with integers. A positive and a positive number, give me a positive. A negative and a negative, give me a positive. And then anytime the two signs are different, you're going to get a negative answer. So just be cautious of that. And then we have the rules of multiplication and division of integers. Multiplication of integers says we can just multiply the numerators, which is the top number, and then we multiply the denominators, which is the bottom number, and then, like always, we just reduce. So let's get on with this. We'll do a few. So in this situation, we are multiplying, and we have negative 3 multiplied by negative 4, which is a positive 12. And then we have 7 times 5, which is 35. So then I try to reduce this. There's no greatest common factor that will come out of both of those numbers. So that is my reduced answer. So the answer is positive 12 over 35. Okay, let's look at number 4. Again, multiply the top numbers. A negative is a positive 45. We multiply the denominators, we get 30. And then I look here and I think I can divide both of these numbers by 15 to get 3 over 2. Again, still a positive. And then I can convert that to a mixed number, which is a positive 1 and 1 and 1/2. Again, we don't have to show the positive sign, but sometimes when we're dealing with negative and positive numbers, it's nice to keep that positive there just to make sure. Now we'll go into some division numbers. I'm going to clear this first. Okay, division. We get negative 3 over 4 divided by 6 over 5. The rules for division say we convert this to a multiplication. So rewrite the first fraction, convert the division sign to multiplication, and then we're going to reciprocate this, which means we'll just flip it. And now we've converted our division statement to a multiplication statement. Now we can multiply the tops and we get negative 15. And we can multiply the bottoms to get positive 24. We can divide both of these by 3 over 3, which is that magic 1 we talked about. Anything divided by the quantity equal to 1 is equal to itself. It just looks different for our purposes. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. 24 divided by 3 is 8. And that's my final reduced answer. So now let's take a look at number 8. We'll look at some mixed numbers. I'm not a big fan of working with mixed numbers, so I'm going to convert that. Over here, I'll show you negative 3/4. We're going to times plus going this way. When you're converting, do not worry about that negative sign yet. We'll just put it out in front. And we get 4 times 3 plus 1 is 13 over 4. So now we can use that. Negative 13 over 4 times 4 over 5. I'm going to do a trick down here. If we are multiplying here, and they're the same number, we can just cancel them out and get negative 13 over 5 right there. And it will save us some reducing later on, but we'll show you that later on in some other worksheets. So we'll go straight through up top here. Negative 13 times 4 is negative 52. And then 5 times 4 is 20. I can divide both of those numbers by 4, so I'm going to bring that down here. I get negative 13 over 5, which is the exact same thing there. And then I don't like leaving my numbers as improper fractions, so I will then take that number and I will convert it to negative 2 and 3 over 5. You don't have to circle your final answer, but it's just nice to know that that's your final reduced answer. And then let's do a division question like that, and we should be good. Okay, we'll do 13. Now let's do 12. Looks a little bit more challenging. Okay, let's convert both of those. So we have times plus, so we get negative 11 over 2 divided by negative 11 over 12. The rule says I can rewrite this as a multiplication statement, and then I reciprocate the second term only. Now, if you noticed, I kept the negative up top. It doesn't matter if the number looks like this, or for that matter, these are all the same numbers. If I use the calculator, I'd always get the same number. This says a negative 11 divided by 12. This says a negative 11 divided by 12. This says 11 divided by 12, but the answer is going to be a negative as well. So it doesn't really matter where I put that negative sign. In this situation, I'm going to leave it both up top. It'll make my job easier. Remember, for some of us, we can do this cancellation with 11s, but we'll show that again in a different worksheet. We could also start canceling here too with the 2s and the 12s. I could turn this into a 1 and turn that into a 6. And that would save me a lot of time. Actually, I'll do both and we'll just show you. We have the time. Okay, so we have 12 times 11. A negative and a negative is a positive. 12 times 11 is 132. And then 2 times 11 is 22. I can divide both of these numbers by 11. So I'm going to get negative 12 over 2 again, which my answer is negative 6. Or I could have done this. And again, if this is going to confuse you, for now, maybe leave it. But for those people who like this kind of stuff, this is a little trick. So I can start cross-dividing. So 11 goes into 11 once. Okay. I can divide this by 2 to get 1. I divide this guy by 2 to get 6. And all of a sudden I'm left with negative 1 times negative 6, which is negative 6. And then 1 times 1, which is 1, which is the same answer. So that's our worksheet. Hopefully you can do the rest. I'm always available for help, so come get some help if you need it. Hope that helped.